Hi, this is Bill, and you are on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill, your source for all things travel. Today we're going to take you on a walkthrough of the Royal Caribbean Mariner of the Seas that we sailed on just a short couple of weeks ago. We'll show you around the ship, and on our journey, we'll give you some of our thoughts of what we liked, what we thought could have been improved, and general information that will help you decide if this ship is right for you, and if you are sailing on in the future, some ideas. We're going to start you off here on pretty much the top of the ship, which is deck 14. The area we're looking at right now is known as the Viking Crown Lounge, or the Jazz Club. It'll also be listed on some things. They're doing a little bit of repairs here. This is a really nice space that it kind of goes undiscovered during the day. They hold some events here at night, some disco type of things, and it's a nightclub. But during the day, it's just a really, really nice spot to look out on the ship and look out on the horizon and enjoy a drink or a cocktail or even do a little bit of work on your computer if you need to. Also on this deck is the Suite Lounge and the Diamond Club. Here we're going through the elevator, and we'll see another little view of the Jazz Club and the Viking Crown Lounge again. Now, I said this is pretty much the top of the ship, but there is actually a deck 15 off from here, which is an escape room. The escape room is where you basically solve puzzles as a group to unlock the door. I've never done one myself. We tried to do it on this cruise. The timing just didn't work out, and you do have to make reservations just in advance, and it is an additional charge. So I believe it's a minimum of 4 people, maximum of 6. I'd have to look that up. But again, that's something that looks like a lot of fun. I'll probably do it again. Now, also, note, not all elevators go up to deck 14. So the elevators on the port side, a couple of them go there. The other ones do not. So again, this is a nice spot. Early in the cruise, people don't find it, and it's a great spot to go. Now, we brought you down the stairs to deck 13. Deck 13 is the sports deck. The sports deck here, most of the things are complimentary, but some of the things are additional charge. You'd have to look that up at the time you're sailing is the best way to really do that. But again, on here is there's a lot going on here. It's a great spot for kids, people that are being a little bit more active. Here you can see there is a basketball court. They will do things like pickleball, tennis. They have soccer I've seen set up at this sports court sometimes. They have different events going on through the day. This one looks like it's set up right now that they're doing some pickleball. It's just another staircase up to the suite lounge, which is up on deck 14. As I walk you towards the aft of the ship, you see here again, this is a multi-purposed space. Pickleball seems to be really popular. I've never tried it. I know some people that do. Not really sure exactly how it's different than tennis, other than definitely a little bit slower. But if you enjoy pickleball, let me know in the comments. That it seems like something that has become very popular lately. Now, looking up, we have the Perfect Storm water slides. Again, these are really popular among the younger kids. It was always pretty much a line going to the Perfect Storm when we were at capacity. Here we have some information on the Flow Rider. The Flow Rider is the surfboard simulator. Again, I gotta get my son-in-law Michael on here. He is a big surfer, and I can't imagine how good he would do here because he surfs in hurricanes and everything. But here's some information and how to check in for you here as well. They do have instructors here that are pretty good at showing you how to do it of all levels, and then they have different sessions for people of different skill levels. They even in the stateroom have a video that was going, I noticed, that had some information on kind of how to do the surfing. As you see here, we have somebody who's pretty good doing it. Continuing on this sports deck on the aft side of the ship, here on the left you'll see there's some information on the perfect storm cyclone. It's got some information about the minimum rider height, the maximum weight, unfortunately it leaves me out, the maximum bather load. I don't know about bathing on a water slide, but they got the number there. Over here's a Skypad. Now the Skypad is kind of a combination of a trampoline, bungee, virtual reality type of thing. Angela did it on the Independence of the Seas that we sailed on. There's a video on that. Kind of fun. People seem to really enjoy that. Again, it's like a big bungee thing, and then you put these glasses on, and it gives you different scenes. I personally haven't done it yet. If you've done it, let me know, but everybody seems to be smiling and having a good time doing that. As we go up to deck, I guess we call it deck 14, you can see the check-in area for the Skypad. They do have safety people there that make sure everything is good. And looking down, we're looking down at the Sky Climber, which is for the little kids there. That's a lot of fun, pretty safe. There's like the potato chip looking thingies that they climb up. And can't really get hurt in that too much, I wouldn't think, because it's not much of a fall or anything. So it's a pretty safe spot for kids. Beautiful view of us sailing at sea. Now, also over in this area by the Sky Climb, which I like to call the potato chip thingy, is some chairs and some swings that the adults can kind of relax on while the kids are climbing up and down. Staying on the aft side of the ship, down from the sports court, will take you down to deck 12, the aft area here. I see a beautiful view. And again, back from there is Johnny Rockets. Johnny Rockets is an additional charge for dinner and for lunch when they are open. Occasionally they'll open for breakfast too on some ships. On our sailing it was not. Johnny Rockets is really cool. It's a if you don't have one in your local mall, local town, it's like a 50s style diner. Food there is really good. Angela and I have done it on other cruises. Really enjoyed it. The only question I have, we didn't attend it while we were open, is being right under the sports deck. If they're doing basketball, I know on one of the other cruises we were on, it was pretty loud in there. So that could be a little bit of an issue. Again, here it's open noon till 10, so they were not open for breakfast during our sailing. Going off from Johnny Rockets is the living room. The living room is kind of the teen hangout area. This was open, as you can see, there's different sessions was open. I was there with my nephews, and they enjoyed it. The hangout areas and the kids clubs. We really didn't see them. We saw them for breakfast, and then saw them again at dinner when they showed up for dinner, and they just had a real blast. The arcade here also is amazing. They have a ton of video games in here. Guitar Hero, Skee Ball, all the things. Now again, all these are an additional charge. So parents, be careful what you approve your children to spend on the arcade games, because it can add up. The kids clubs are also back here. The Explorers clubs, rooms ages 6 to 8. There's different areas and different clubs for various age groups. I am, as you can see, the Voyages is 9 to 11. I am not going to go too deeply into the age groups and what goes on at the kids clubs, as Angela and I, our kids are grown. But I will tell you, my nephews really, really enjoyed it, and there's plenty of other videos. And we could do another video speaking about the kids clubs. As you can see, this is age 12 to 17 here. But again, the arcade was really good, and there's tons to do for the kids on the ship, as you can see, just from this whole aft area. Here's another view of the Adventure Ocean Kids Club area from the elevator lobby on deck 12. Here's one of the areas for the littles. It's called the Equinox area. That's for ages 3 to 5. And that's the back of the ship there again. We'll walk out here on deck 12, just to kind of give you a little overview of the Lido deck or the pool deck. Here we have a running court. The running area also is kind of the walking area, and there's beach chairs, lounges, and things that go right up against it. So I don't know that this is necessarily the greatest place to be running in the afternoon, but people do run these tracks pretty early in the morning, so it's not you don't have as many people out there getting in the way. But it's definitely something that take caution of, and also if you're walking on this, kind of pay attention to people around you. That there are people trying to jog or walk fast or whatever, they can do so unobstructed. On the right here, we're passing the Sky Lounge, which is an outdoor bar. Again, overlooking the Lido deck. Pretty nice area. Pretty good service up there. Generally, if you go to the bars one deck above the Lido, sometimes they're a little less crowded than others. As I walk over to the miniature golf area, we can see one of Royal Caribbean's finest, trying to catch a little bit of shade. You see a lot more security out and around on the ships than you used to see, which is fine. Kind of keeps people under control a little bit. A little bit of omnipresence, as we used to say in the NYPD. Again, we're walking up here onto deck 13 into the miniature golf areas in the back, but there's some really nice lounges back here. They have glass walls, so it doesn't get too windy. And a lot of people use these. Well, actually, not a lot of people use these because not a lot of people know about them. It's a pretty quiet area if you want to read a book, sunbathe a little bit without it being quite as loud or crowded as some other places. That's a good option. Angela, when you watch this video, punch buggy, no backsies on the fake Volkswagen minivan. For those people that know that game, let me know in the comments below. Looking down from deck 12 onto deck 11 is the Solarium and the Solarium pool, and there's a Solarium bar and some whirlpools there as well. That's an adult-only area most of the day. Little view of the signage that they have in the elevator lobbies, which is excellent on Royal Caribbean. They make it really easy to find where you are at any particular point. Here we are on deck 11. We're going to do a quick walk through here to the spa area where they'll do facials and massages. You can get shaves, basically any type of treatment that you're interested in. They do acupuncture at sea now, which is kind of an interesting concept. Again here, deck 11. This is the fitness center now. Now, the fitness center is an interesting place because it tends to be very crowded early on in the cruise, and then some people kind of lose steam as the cruise goes on. So it gets a little bit less crowded as time goes on. But if you are into fitness, the gym here is really nice. They have a good feet store, which is interesting. Lots of equipment. They have treadmills, bikes, all the standard stuff. They have weights. Again, if you've seen me on my videos, I'm not the hugest workout person in the world, but they do have things. They have free weights there. And my understanding from my brother-in-law and nephews were that the gym was pretty good. They went early. I believe it opens at 6 a.m. I'd have to check that. They do have saunas and showers and things like that. And this is another option if you're putting 4 people in a stateroom and somebody needs to shower. The gym areas are pretty good ones, as an option to not necessarily get completely ready, but take a quick shower after the pool or things like that. Continuing out on deck 11, here is the Solarium area I was telling you about. There are some day beds, really nice over here, that look out onto the ocean. There is a Solarium pool. The ship was full when we went on it, and the chair situation was a little tight. It was a little difficult to get loungers if you didn't get out there kind of earlier in the day. Me personally, I don't really care about the loungers because I just hang out in the pool anyway. But this is, like I said, this is an adult-only area. It's a little bit more serene. You don't have the deck parties and the belly flop competitions and loud music back here. A little more relaxing. Pretty nice area. I tend to kind of split my time between these two areas because sometimes I like it to be a little quieter, and then other times you just like seeing what's going on and kind of people watching and seeing what's going on. Over here on the left, as we go out into the main pool area, is the towel exchange station. Now, Royal Caribbean, like many other cruise lines, you have to sign the towels out and then sign them back in. So make sure you do that. Make sure you kind of keep an eye on your towels because they can charge you for towels that are not returned. I don't know anybody that's been charged for the towels. If you have, please put in the comments below. But again, you do have to sign your towels in and out from the towel station. And you can exchange wet towels for dry ones at any point. Here we have the pool bar. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I need to explain what a pool bar is very much. Right over here is the main pool areas. They'll also have events going on here like the belly flop and the world's sexiest man competition. There is a whirlpool in the middle. The temperature when I went on was really nice, and the pools are not terribly deep. I am 5'8" and didn't have a problem keeping my head above water the whole time. Some cruise lines, the pools are higher, deeper than others. Holland America in particular. I remember the pool was very deep, and it was not a whole lot of fun treading water while you're holding a drink in your hand. We have the doghouse, which has various types of hot dogs. Sausage is excellent. I am a lover of hot dogs. So these were delicious. They have a couple of different toppings you can put on them, and this was a really good choice. The Windjammer Marketplace. Well, if you've been on Royal Caribbean, you know what the Windjammer is. The Windjammer is the buffet area. Now, one thing you'll always hear me say is try to find an option other than the Windjammer on Embarkation Day. Embarkation Day, the elevators and the buffet area are always more crowded than any other day. People, I think, don't eat for a week and then decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to eat and stuff myself the first day at the Windjammer. So, also up in this area, which is kind of interesting, the design, there is Jamie's Italian Restaurant and then Chop's Steakhouse. Again, or Chop's Grill, which is the specialty steakhouse, also in areas off to the side of the Windjammer. On this particular sailing, we did not do any of the specialty restaurants, but I have done Chop's Grill on Royal Caribbean ships before, and we really enjoy it. Jamie's Italian in particular, I don't think we've tried on any Royal Caribbean ships. We've found the specialty restaurants for Italian to be kind of hit or miss on Royal Caribbean, but some people love it. I'm just going to walk you around here real briefly on the Windjammer Marketplace. This was breakfast. I was trying to film a little earlier in the day when it was a little bit less crowded, but you know, as always on cruise ships, the schedules kind of get put aside, so I actually film a little bit later, so I'm not going to be able to get everything. But as you can see, it's a pretty nice selection of things that they had for breakfast, and the breakfast was pretty good. We, in general, we enjoyed the food on the cruise. Now, the sailing was pretty close to capacity, if not at capacity. So getting seating was a little bit of a challenge. We were with a larger group for my mother-in-law's 80th birthday, so we had the in-laws and my brother and some other family with us. So it was a little bit of a challenge getting a larger table. So kind of what we had to do was scout out, find a spot, and then kind of take turns going up and getting our food and bringing food back for other people to not occupy the table for too long if we could possibly avoid it. As you can see, there's plenty of seating, just at the peak times, not enough to obviously have everybody there. But it wasn't bad. We never had to wait more than probably 5 minutes, walk around 5 minutes to get a table. And that was for a larger group of us too, so we really can't complain about that. I'm just going to show you really quick inside Jamie's Italian. There was nobody there at the time, so you can get kind of an idea of what it looks like. Again, it's not the typical red and white tablecloth Italian restaurant, but it does have beautiful ocean views, you can see here. We're definitely going to have to try James Italian on the next ship we're on. Now we'll take you down on the elevator ride from deck 11 down to deck 5. Most of these decks below are cabins and staterooms, as you can see. We do have a video of the staterooms, my stateroom, and also a handicap accessible stateroom that's going to be on the channel. I'll throw a link in the description below, but look out for those videos in the next few days when I can get them posted. As you can see from the sign, there is the dining room. The main dining room is off to the side there. They have 2 assigned seating times and then also anytime dining. Walking forward from the aft part, which is where the dining rooms are on deck 5, off to the right here, is guest services. A couple of tips about guest services. It's always going to be really crowded on embarkation day, and also the last night before the cruise ends. So if you need to do anything there, generally earlier in the day is the best, and somewhere in the middle of the cruise. Don't wait till the night before you're disembarking to take care of something simple. On the left, we are passing the future cruise area, the next cruise desk it's called. Now, next cruise is a really good idea. Sometimes you get extra onboard credit for booking on the ship, and if you have booked with me or whatever travel agent you have booked with, they will get credit for the sail. The pricing is generally the same, but sometimes you get extra onboard credit and things along those lines. In the middle here, they have these pop-up displays where they'll have things like watches and jewelry, sometimes pocketbooks and different things on sale at a little lower price. Off to the right is Regalia Jewelers. Here is one of the higher-end jewelry stores. They sell watches, jewelry. There'll be the Effie stuff that you'll see all over every cruise ship in the world. There's my friend from India that does voiceover work there. We chatted for a little while. So there's different things. Angela and I don't usually buy anything from these types of stores. But if you do, let me know in the comments below if you really think that it's a good value. If you get really good deals on it compared to what you would pay in the United States on jewelry and diamonds and things along those lines. Again, here you can see the different pop-ups that they have in the middle. One of the things that is always in the Royal Promenade is a different type of car, a kind of a cool car in the middle. Rum cakes. Love me some rum cakes. Here we have the liquor store, Port Merchants. Some of the prices are good. Some of them could be better, honestly. I find Sam's Club has some of the pricing on liquor a little bit better than you will find on cruise ships, and sometimes you get great deals. While we walk around the ship a little bit more on the Royal Promenade, I'd like to ask you to give this video a like if you're enjoying it and if you're gaining knowledge out of this content. And also, we definitely would really appreciate you subscribing to the channel. We have a ton of footage and videos that I will be doing over the coming weeks and months on basically every cruise line that exists, room tours, and just giving you some travel information. Again, subscribing costs you absolutely nothing. It's free to you, and it really helps us out. And it helps out Angela and the birthday girl here. That is my beautiful wife, Angela, who has no idea I'm filming her right now. Oh, wait, there she is. And my mother-in-law there, celebrating her 80th birthday. Over on the right here is a really cool room, the Bamboo Room. It has a very South Pacific feel to it. On our cruise, it also didn't get overly crowded and had great bartenders, so it was a nice spot to jump in and grab a drink. If there was a 80s party or a 90s party going on the Royal Promenade, it was a little bit crowded. Here we have the logo shop with some other stuff, some Swarovski's crystal they have. They had the ship models and t-shirts and all your standard gift shop items that you would expect in a logo shop on a cruise ship. Back there, the dune buggy, and again, over here is the Bamboo Room I was telling you about. They also sell cups and things like that on the Royal Promenade at times. Different things that are upcharges for buying soda. The Barnacle and Barrel is the Mariner of the Seas version of the English pub. They have different names for the English pub in different areas. Here's a cake. We were there on Veterans Day weekend, and they had a really nice Veterans Day ceremony thanking the veterans. They had a cake, and they served cake to the veterans and people there to support them. If you've been on a Royal Caribbean ship, it's the typical Irish or English pub with some pretty good selections of draft beer and bottled beer. They generally had somebody in the evenings playing solos, playing guitar. Again, really nice option. Plenty of things to do on Royal Caribbean. That's one of the big selling points of Royal Caribbean cruises, is that there's just different types of music and different things going on the ship all over the place. Over here, we'll stick our head in another one of the duty-free stores that sells various makeup and perfume items for those of you. Again, I'm not really sure whether the pricing is good on these. Angela tells me that it's nothing spectacular from what she's seen. But let me know in the comments below if you've ever done that. Up there is the Royal Bridge that they will very often have entertainment going on from. The cruise director, Mark Walker, who is fantastic, would go up there and he would kind of lead the 80s party and the 90s party, and they would do different ceremonies from there. Over here is the Grand Glacier. It's right next to the Coke Freestyle machines. Coke Freestyle machines are included if you get one of the beverage packages. You'll get a cup that you can fill up unlimited times, and they have different flavors of Coca-Cola, cherry and orange, and Coca-Cola products. Over here is the area where they have, here was breakfast sandwiches they had going on during the morning. At night, they have different other sandwich options and fantastic pizza. For those of you who know me and Angela, we're a big fan of second dinner, which is what we use to kind of soak up a little bit of the alcohol late at night before we go to bed. Really bad for you, but we enjoy grabbing a slice of pizza before we call it a night. Over here is Playmakers. Playmakers was not open yet at this point, but was great, so I could show you what it looked like without getting a lot of people in there. Playmakers is the typical sports bar where they had different games on. A lot of cricket. You'll see a lot of cricket on cruise ships because it's a very Caribbean thing to do. But Playmakers is really fun. They have some food options there too. I believe they are an upcharge on most of the things, but it's not a crazy upcharge. This is a Star Lounge. They had bingo in here. They had different game shows and different events going on. Here we are going on, and we're looking at the odd auction area. Angela and I are banned from odd auctions after the ungodly amount of money that we spent on a Norwegian cruise on the odd auctions a couple of years ago. But again, they're really fun to do. They have champagne odd auctions. You get free champagne. That is the painting we're looking at, Mickey and Minnie. That was killing us. That is really, we love Thomas Kinkade type of work. And even though Thomas Kinkade died, his studios remain alive. And we really enjoy the Disney stuff there. One thing that was done a little bit differently on this cruise, again, Mark Walker is a fantastic cruise director, is outside the library they had this community bulletin board. We kind of put informal meet and greets and get-togethers up there for groups that are maybe sailing together. That, hey, let's meet up in the champagne bar or whatever, and you could check that area there. Here is the library. Again, this is right off of the Star Lounge. Real quiet area in here. Lots of books that you can borrow and read. They also have internet stations if you have the internet or Wi-Fi package. There are printers, and there are also some games. Now, one of the things they had, as you can see we're walking by, is a sign for Top Gun Maverick, which is showing on the pool deck. Again, tons of things to do on a cruise. There is always something going on for everybody. If you've never seen a movie on the pool deck, on the screen at night, it is really a lot of fun, and I highly recommend that you do so. Going to walk out here onto the panorama deck, I guess you would call it. Again, this is all on deck 5 here. And real nice spot to go on any cruise ship. Try to find this area. As you can see, there's chairs. It's just nice and wide, especially if you don't have a balcony stateroom. Really nice place to go to unwind. It's generally a little quiet, doesn't get too crowded, and again, just a really nice place to relax. My apologies, actually on deck 4, not on deck 5. I'm even getting confused as to what deck we're on. Deck 4 here, right off the elevator lobby, is Izumi. Izumi is the teppanyaki and Japanese offering on Royal Caribbean ships. Again, I'd like to know what the difference between teppanyaki and hibachi is. I haven't gotten a good answer yet, except that people seem to call it teppanyaki these days. Teppanyaki, or hibachi, they sell out pretty quickly, so if you want to do this, especially if you have a larger party, you probably want to book it right away, and again, it is an additional charge on this specialty restaurant. Now, right off of the Royal Theater is there, as you can see. Right off there is the Schooner Bar. The Schooner Bar is Angela and I's probably favorite spot on any cruise that we've been on. The bartenders are usually really good. Nice areas to sit around. They have trivia. They generally will have somebody at night playing the piano. Just a really good gathering place. On this class of ship, the Schooner Bar does get crowded. It gets pretty packed. So if there's trivia, something going on, trivia is very popular. You're definitely going to want to get there a little bit earlier than starting time, probably 15-20 minutes. Otherwise, you're not really going to get a seat. And here we have the Royal Theater. The Royal Theater is a couple of decks. I believe it was 3 decks in the Royal Theater. This is where they have the production shows, the Welcome Aboard show, and most of the larger things that are going on at night would be in here. Here we have Casino Royale. This is, again, right off of the Schooner Bar. The casino was operating, so I couldn't film inside that. But this is the Schooner Bar is on one side, and then further aft is the other side of the casino. The casino is pretty large, lots of games. I did pretty good at it. Angela and I have a little experiment. We feel that the casino is a little bit looser early in the cruise or earlier in the morning. Let us know your thoughts. How do you do with the casinos? As you can see, there's a Starbucks on one side right outside of the casino. And on this other side here is Boleros, which is Latin. They had Latin music going at night. During the day, you can see they have some pastries and stuff like that. But beautiful spot. Very lively, a lot of Latin music, a lot of dancing. If you enjoy live music and Latin bands and just in generally have a good time, Boleros is a real nice spot. It was a little bit off of the beaten path for me. On the larger ships, Boleros is generally in the Royal Promenade, so you kind of walk past it. This one, you had to go down a deck from the Royal Promenade to get to. And walking through, again, we're on the aft side of the ship now, is the main level of the main dining room. Again, the dining was very good. We really enjoyed the food. All of us found something every night that we enjoyed. Now here we have Studio B. Studio B, also right off of Studio B, is the area where they sell different camera gear, GoPros. If you forget your camera equipment, they have some batteries, they have some memory cards, frames, and also when you have photos taken, this is where you'll come to one of the kiosks and take a look at your photos. Here it's all electronic, it's based on your room card. And again, all these are additional charges, but it's a nice memory. They have some Christmas ornaments here. They also had some setups for the art auction in this area, some preview displays. Now, right past here was Studio B. I did not film it for this video, and there's going to be a lot of the areas that we may do a vlog on what we did on the ship, which will have footage from the different shows and the ice skating show, and also of the theater show. If you're interested, if you like the video, give it a like and let us know that you want to see more of this ship and see what Studio B is. Anyway, for those that don't know, Studio B is an ice skating rink. They had amazing ice skating shows in Studio B. They also had laser tag going on there during the day. I doubled back a little bit to the Windjammer Buffet just to show you some of the food options that they had here. We stopped up for lunch afterwards, and the desserts of this lunch buffet were just absolutely to die for. Again, if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and please subscribe to the channel. This way you get notified if we put new content up there, if we do more videos on the Mariner of the Seas, which we plan on doing. You'll get notified. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps out the channel quite a bit. Now let's give you our thoughts. First of all, just wanted to walk you through one of the... Hi, Angela! Walk you through one of the hallways. There is really neat artwork and pictures, memorabilia, different things, which was interesting on deck 7 that had a aviation theme rather than a mariner theme. I don't really understand that, but stuff was really cool, and I just wanted to walk you through the hall and show you a little bit of it. Now, our final thoughts on the ship. Angela and I have been on a lot of cruises, and we've been on several Royal Caribbean ships. We really, really enjoyed the Mariner of the Seas. We found it was kind of the perfect size for a family. Again, I had my brother with me who is disabled. We had our mother-in-law's 80th, well, her mother's 80th birthday. It was really easy to get around the ship. There was plenty to do. It wasn't overwhelmingly big, but it wasn't tiny either. If you're really looking for that perfect mid-sized ship, you can't go wrong with the Mariner of the Seas, the Independence of the Seas, Liberty, ships that are in this similar class. They really, I think they hit a really happy medium of them. The cruise director was fantastic. Mark Walker was amazing. His staff was great. The service was amazing. Our wait staff was great. The food was great. There's really very little that we could say that were a negative about this ship. And you know, Angela and I are very honest, and if there's something we're not really thrilled with, we will let you know. The only thing, one piece of advice I'll give you is an embarkation day. Make sure that they have your dining reservation set correctly. There's been some issues lately with Royal Caribbean where you're separated from other people in your party that are dining reservations go together. So just take a look and make sure on your card it'll say what table number you're at. If you're traveling with other people and you want to dine together, take a look at the number on your card. If it's not, go see the maitre d' in the main dining room as soon as you get on the ship. And there's Angela and Sharon spending all our hard-earned money on bingo, and there's Mom. But we don't do bingo a whole lot. We did a little bit on the ship. And again, if you like this video, if you've been on the Mariner, let us know your thoughts. Please make some comments. Hi, Rob, my brother-in-law. And again, the encouragement to let me know whether we're doing the right thing here and whether you are enjoying this content. So on behalf of Angela, from the Schooner Bar, thanks, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.